Well, I'll say, there's gold in them hills. Wait, did I say gold? I meant golf balls. Whoa. Wait a second. This stuff's so soft I don't really need a pickaxe. I didn't need a pickaxe. What I needed was a garden hoe. How I knew these balls were down here is there was a lot on the surface after a big flood. So I picked up the ones on the surface already. Now I'm going back and getting the ones that are underneath. It's a little bit more work here. And this actually is not a good spot. But you'll see that I was doing all that digging, I didn't get anything, and then all of a sudden I hope the camera's pointed in the right spot. But just like that last chop, I got like 4 of them. I was about to give up right there in that spot. And all of a sudden 4 golf balls popped out. So I'm a little bit better spot. And there's another one, and another, and a tennis ball on a rope. Interesting. But 3 more golf balls. So it's a little bit better spot right here. And an aluminum can. And, wow, I don't even know what that is. Oh, 3 more golf balls though. Not gold, but these guys are worth, well, let's see. Unwashed, I was selling them to a dealer for 8 cents a piece for all the ones except for the Pro V's. Pro V ones. Yeah, here's one I just dug out. Here's a one of the ones that's worth a little bit more than average. I'll get it in the camera here. But the brand is Titleist. But there's several Titleists. In particular, the brand that's worth the most is the Titleist Pro V1 or Pro V1X. So there'd be a lot of Titleist DT Solo or Touring or all kinds of other different kind. They're really not worth more than any of the other name brand balls, but these Pro V1s in particular, if they're really clean and in perfect condition, they're worth as much as $1 a piece. If they're in ratted out condition, like the scuffed really bad or the surface is nicked, well, it might not be worth anything if the surface is nicked too bad, but if they're just dirty, worn, they can be reskinned, and so they're at a minimum they're worth 25 cents a piece, even selling them to a dealer. Probably if you're selling them to an individual, you wouldn't want to sell them any less than 50 cents a piece. Alright, so in addition to the Titleist, you get all kinds of good name brands that can be cleaned up, washed and sold for maybe around 50 cents a piece, 25 to 50 cents a piece depending on that, how faded they are or whatever. There's Nike. Here's some Titleist DT Solo, Top Flight. Come across a lot of Galloways and Noodle, Ciron. I'm probably pronouncing some of the names wrong, but they're all up in here. Just for now, I've gotten all the easy ones, so now I'm having to work a little bit harder for my money in terms of chopping the buried ones out. Last thing I wanted to mention was how I found these golf balls in the first place. I was walking this creek bed when it was dry and saw a few balls that had washed in it, were just sitting there in the rocks, and figured out that, oh, this must be downstream of a golf course, and I bet the rain washed some in. So I was picking up a few for myself to drive out into a cow pasture. Free balls, you don't worry about going to find them. So I was just happy to get a couple of dozen, and then we had a big 500-year flood here and I was excited to get back down to this creek and see what I could find. And I started seeing a few in the water like these here, and even more up in this area beside the creek where the flood waters had washed over. and I was pretty ecstatic because I was getting a lot of balls. But then I looked up even further from the creek, out there where some of the higher points that the water had gotten to, and in these inside turns on some of this creek, there was just hundreds of them laying on the ground. Well, as you can see, I've picked them all up now, about 2,000 balls in total so far. And the rest of them that I'm getting, I'm having to dig for. And that's what I got the hoe for, to dig them out of the ground.